Hi guys, and welcome back to Motor Joshing. So just leaving work, so let's do done. And thought I'd give you a bit of a brake update. Whilst I'm going to be stuck in traffic, so went into Sherlaw's. Got told obviously I need to speak to Craig, who's the manager. We had a bit of a chat. The following day he asked me to email in, I guess it's all in writing, present, above board, all that bollocks. So I kind of explained the situation, said that the bike was serviced, well, it was purchased 2nd of December, it was serviced on the 10th of December, 500 miles. It was then serviced again in April, beginning of April, I think it was the 4th of April, around 2,000, I think it was 900-ish miles, purely because I was doing a wee jaunt after that, so I wanted it to be sorted before I put a couple of miles on it, because I went down to the motorbike show. Yeah, I think it was just before the motorbike show. Anyway, so wanted to get that service done before I went, and that was all fine. So, and then obviously said exactly what happened with the tyres and the pads and all that kind of stuff. So that aside, so I explained that in writing, and just usual waffle basically about the fact that the bike's new, I've got it serviced and all that kind of stuff, and went from there. So Craig replied the following day, first of all showing me the checklist of things that were done in the April, pads and brakes being okay. Obviously explained from his side that if there was work required to be done, because it would have been chargeable, of course he would have told me, because he would have been able to fleece me the cash for it, so of course he would tell me. And dealers are dealers, so they're always out to get more pennies. So I believe that part. So it obviously was checked in April. However, the next part of the story, he obviously said that the pads that were put in, which were done by Robert, he said that the calipers could have been cleaned up a bit more, and if they'd done it, they would have cleaned the inside of the calipers more than what they were. That they would have used a particular brake lubricant as such, as opposed to using copper slip. Apparently that can add to further contamination. Sure, okay, so some stuff done wrong on my side, I'll go with that. Then Craig linked me to a photo from my very own Instagram page, showing the dirt that can accumulate in the week. This photo here, so that was from August, which showed a possible accumulation of dirt. Then he referenced two of my own videos, showing that essentially the inclement weather we've been having, and also me going past on my driving route, and said that's obviously where the dirt's come from, and the fact that they haven't seen the bike for 4,000 miles means they're not liable for any kind of road grime, dirt or whatever that's picked up in that time. So long story short, what their proposal was, that essentially that they will fit the discs and the new pads for free, but I have to purchase them of my own accord. So I kind of can see where everyone's coming from on this one. Kawasaki is saying contamination, Sherlaw's are basically saying the same, and using my own footage essentially as evidence to that fact, and pictures, social media, whatever. You know, the fact that photo was from a week's you know, travel, and much like any motorbike that's driven through rain, of course it looks dirty, and much like every other person with a motorbike, you of course clean it afterwards and make it spick and span, which is what anyone would do. And anyone that does commute, I imagine, doesn't clean their bike every night after they run. They probably leave it a couple of days, and you know, or wait to the weekend and make it a bit more spick and span. So I don't necessarily agree with those comments over the condition of the bike in general. I still think my cleaning was sufficient, however, you know, they disagree. So either way, I will be liable for the parts. There's kind of no point in me arguing the toss. I do disagree. I still think the parts aren't fit for purpose. I think categorically that, you know, if that type of maintenance was required, it should be in the service manual, that you need to inspect the inside of your brake calipers, and a procedure on how to clean the calipers should be in the service book. It isn't. So I have to conclude that, you know, the parts aren't really fit for the purpose of commuting, because, you know, commuting means all weathers all year. And so because I'm not a pussy, and I have indeed been commuting and in all weathers, I'll have to take that one on the chin. I still disagree, and it certainly left a sour taste in my mouth, that you know, I paid for a 4-year warranty, and I'm so far not feeling the love of that warranty. When the procedure to clean the braking calipers isn't in the maintenance guides for the bike, then I kind of think what is there should be up to the job. So yeah, definitely pretty disappointed, definitely a sour taste in my mouth. Did Sherlock's do everything they could? Yeah, no, they could have fought the corner a little bit more. But I completely understand from a business perspective, you know, from Craig's point of view, if he doesn't have to pay out for things, then he doesn't have to pay out for things. So, you know, it's money in his bank, really. So, completely understand from his point of view, you know, why that result would be that result. I still contest, though, that if the things were fit for purpose, I wouldn't be having that. Fucking arseholes. Anyway, I just still contest that if things were fit for purpose, then there wouldn't be any problems riding in a bit of rain, and you know, there still shouldn't be an issue that happens within the first year. I still don't buy it, I'm afraid. Now, what could be done differently? Well, what I would say is the dealers themselves could obviously do further classes or give further information on regular maintenance for people who are commuting, because these dealers know that, well, you know, you got to put it through, and they know the local climate. Of course they don't, because then of course they lose out on money in servicing. You know, at the end of the day, they could you know, point you in the right direction. They could do better classes and better you know, tips to maintain these vehicles, but they're not interested in maintaining the vehicles. They're interested in getting you in for a service and then charging you for parts. So I think that's bollocks. I think Kawasaki could do more as well in the same ilk. They could do more videos on regular maintenance, things that you should do, especially for commuters and people that actually are going to utilise the bikes, not just as toys. Yeah, certainly disappointing, left a sour taste in my mouth. I understand, you know, that getting dirt and you know, shite inside the calipers is going to degrade them in some way, shape or form. But I'm still unaware of many people that actually check the calipers. So either way, sour taste in the mouth. So the plan's going to be get back to Wales, and then I will no doubt fix the problem with my Fajar, and we'll get it sorted either way. But I shall not be paying dealer prices for the stuff they wanted. The prices they were offering to buy the discs at, even if they were fitting it for free, were crazy. It's probably about 100 quid more than what I can buy the exact same things for. So yeah, that shan't be happening. So yeah, we live and we learn, chaps. So expect to see a video on how to clean your brake calipers. That's going to be coming up for sure, and I will certainly let you know once everything's swapped across and things, and hopefully that'll be the end of it. I'm very happy in the fact that I'm moving to South Wales and I won't need to take my bike to Shirley's again. They've hardly won me over with the way this stuff's gone down. At the end of the day, I don't think you should be replacing your discs this early, full stop, the end. Anyway guys, catch you on the next one. Ta-ta, bye-bye.